Hey guys, welcome in. It's that time for 30 books in 30 weeks. As you guys are coming in, be sure and share this out. We are talking about the book Beyond Illusions. We invested a lot of time last week talking about the importance of getting in touch with reality, coming to terms with truly what is and learning to embrace it, and then being able to use that to propel yourself forward to reach the goals and create the life that you want. And so I'm excited to continue that conversation this week, but from a little bit different perspective. This week's book is called Beyond Illusions. It's by Brad Barton, and it really talks, he's actually a magician, and so it talks about the abilities and the ways that we deceive ourselves just based on how we perceive situations, oftentimes not from a standpoint of reality. Hey Gillette, hey Gregory, what's going on, Michael? Not from a standpoint of reality, but truly just based on how we perceive it to be. We might be so far off. And I shared an example yesterday with a lady that was in line at the store, and she was she was concerned about her weight, her physical weight, and how she looked in some pants. And when the clerk said, sorry about your weight, she took it as W-E-I-G-H-T instead of W-A-I-T, runs out of the store, freaks out. Long story short, it's her perception. Her mind was already made up, and so it didn't matter what he would have said. If it had that word in it, she was going to take it and run with it. And so, I titled this video today, your circumstances don't change until you do. And so invite some people in to watch with us. For those of you who might be joining in for the very first time, my name is Marcy Batiste. I'm a public speaker, I'm an author, and I am a reality-based success and recovery trainer. So I have a company called Bankable Success Advisors, where I work with individuals and businesses, help them optimize their personal time, emotional, financial investments so that they can yield the best return on those investments. And for those of you who work with me, who know me, who follow me, 3 things are important to me. 1, I always live life on Mars. 2, I'm sold out to my happiness. And number 3, I absolutely love helping other women shine. Truly helping them discover and embrace what I call their star power. And once they've got a hold of that, they have the concept, they know how to use the tools in their toolbox to embrace that star power, they're able to ignite the light for another woman. And so this Raising the Bar community, we started in 2018. We decided to take everything up a notch, and that included our personal development journey with 30 books in 30 weeks, which brings us to today, and we are on day 51 in the year 2018, but this actually started 2 months prior, back in 2017. So we're well over 100 shares, 100 videos, 100 aha moments, 100 lessons, 100 tools for the toolbox into this journey. So today, though, I want to talk to you about the whole perception piece, and how many times a lot of us, we don't live life as it is. We live life as we perceive it. And so a friend of mine, for instance, always just kind of has this negative, like drony, always blah, everything is not good, nothing's ever good enough attitude. And it's one of those things where I try not to engage too much with people who have mindsets like that, because negativity is contagious. And so, she's one of those people that you just kind of, I have to always take it with a grain of salt. I already know it's going to be the sad face. I already know it's going to be, something wrong. Everything's going to be a problem. What's going on, Marcus? Hey, Justin. Hey, KK. And so, but I learned, I know that, and I expect that from her. But what I also know to be true is that as long as your mindset is that way, your circumstances are going to remain negative. Everything is going to continue to look and feel bleak for you. I had to learn personally when I decided I was going to sell out to my happiness, and I refused to live a life of negativity. I refused to live a life based on, seeking other people's approval and truly living life on Mars. That I had to surround myself with different people, but more importantly, I had to continually feed my mind with a different attitude than I had had in the past, because I used to be one of those toxic people. I used to have that negative, everything is bleak attitude, until I found out how to be grateful and how to marry reality and love exactly what is. And then I get to decide what pieces of it I want to take with me, what pieces of it work for me, how I want to change the reality that is my life. And I stay in my business, not everybody else's business. And so that's, that's key to happiness. If you can't control other people. So if you're spending a whole lot of time and wasting a whole lot of time worrying about what someone else has got going on, there's nothing left to invest in you. And so I like to think of perception and negative self-talk. Negative self-talk to me is like, well, self-talk period, right, is like water. And so water will always seek out the path of least resistance. So all it takes is this little tiny chink in the armor in order for water to come pushing through. Negative self-talk is that way. So negative self-talk will look for the path of least resistance. What areas are you already insecure in? What areas are you already not comfortable with? Is it your weight? Is it your physical appearance? Is it your business acumen? Is it your house, your car? Whatever you have that you already feel insecure about, all it takes is that one little voice to start talking about that one little negative thing. And pretty soon that thing becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it begins to spill over into other things. Kind of like when you think of, let's think of like in the wintertime, snow melts the top of the mountain, right? The water has to go somewhere. It's always going to seek the path of least resistance. So if the water runs up to a roadblock, it has to go someplace or it backs up. So it's always going to be looking, where can I go? Where can I divert? The negative self-talk is the same way. So if you correct it in one area and just, let's say you have an issue with your weight, but you don't correct the why you think negatively, right? I can correct the weight, so the water is going to stop there. But if I still have a negative mindset and a bad attitude, it's going to find something else to be negative about. And that's what happened to me. I've shared on videos before on my weight loss journey. I lost the weight, but I didn't change the mindset. And so although I wasn't 400 pounds anymore, I still thought like a 400-pound person. I still had the insecurities of a 400-pound person. I still had the beliefs of that 400-pound woman. So when someone told me I was beautiful, when someone told me I was talented or gifted or whatever the case may be, I didn't believe that. I certainly didn't believe that I was attractive. And I was sharing the other day about how I used to still go into the plus size stores because I didn't see myself that way. That negative self-talk just found something else to focus on when I created the weight. I still had that same mental roadblock. But the good news is that positive self-talk also works like water and also will seek the path of least resistance. So if you start correcting how you think, not just what you think about, but truly correct how you think. So when you see yourself and feel yourself having negative thoughts, negative self-talk, then you start working on those things. And that's where positive self-talk is like, so negative self-talk is like uncontrolled water. It's that raging stream, right? Positive self-talk is like controlled, channeled flow of water. It's very strategically marketed. It's very strategically aimed at certain areas. And that's how you have to begin to correct the mindset so that you can go beyond the illusions. You have to begin to channel how you think, how you talk, who you interact with. You have to be strategic about it. You got to be intentional about figuring out and noticing. And so I put a link for a judgment and inquiry worksheet for you guys. Feel free to download that. Drop in your email, whatever. It's available on my website. This worksheet allows you to get in tune with what really reality is. Is it a fact or is it something that you just have a thought about? Which one is it? You have to be able to decipher reality from fiction. You got to know the difference between fact and fiction. Am I dealing with reality? Am I dealing with a thought? Is it positive? Is it negative? And if it's negative self-talk that you're dealing with, then I have to redirect that water or it's going to rage out of control. That negative self-talk is going to grow, it's going to manifest. Versus positive self-talk, channeled, strategic, and it can actually take over the negative once you learn how to channel it properly. And it allows you to go beyond the illusions. You're not swayed by perception anymore. You actually can operate in a space of reality and become comfortable with what your reality is. You know, like I said, I titled this, your circumstances don't improve until you do. If you're not willing to do the work in you, then your surroundings aren't going to change, your circumstances aren't going to change, your level of happiness isn't going to change, your level of success isn't going to change. It doesn't matter. It's all interconnected, and it starts with you. So that's my message for today. We're reading from Teachings Out of Beyond Illusions by Brad Barton. Love this book. I'm having a great time revisiting my personal development library. So wanted to share that with you guys today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with another aha and takeaway from Beyond Illusions. Have an amazing day, guys. And most of all, thanks for living life on Mars. We'll talk soon.